every single balance change that you need to know on the new Roblox Rivals Ranked update. First, the bow's damage was decreased by 10 as a main attack, now doing 30 damage, and doing 50 damage to the head. The bow now riles up to 240%, and the 240% does 72 damage to the body, and 120 damage to the head like normal. And the movement speed was increased from 0% to 5%. The crossbow nerfs were too harsh, so they buffed it again. So, the main attack now does 45 damage to the body and 75 damage to the head. The RPG now does 100 damage as a critical hit and 50 damage just to the body itself. The shotgun now has a new consistent spread and it can pierce through enemies. But the cooldown was increased from 0.7 seconds to 0.8 seconds. In my opinion, the energy rifle got nerfed so much. The body shots now only do 15 damage, and the ricochet shots don't even critical hit anymore. But headshots are now critical damage, and it does 25 each hit. And the bouncing is way more smooth. Every single weapon that includes fire did get nerfed in some way, shape, or form. But the flamethrower now has this cool little technique where it can push smoke grenades. And the total DPS of the flamethrower decreased by 25%. The grenade launcher's critical hit now only does 80 damage, beside from its regular, and still does 35 damage on the body. Other than that, they added some splash damage into it to make it feel more similar to the RPG. Overall, the gunblade was pretty bad in release, but now the movement speed was changed from negative 10% to normal, and it still kind of does the same thing. I mean, except it does have 8 less bullets, and that's really it. So, I mean, if you like Blade mode, then I think you'll like this update even better, but, you know, that's really it. Paintball gun was nerfed so badly, it now only does 18.5 damage per hit, and it has 24 rounds, and after you use all of its bullets, you can only reload once more. And the headshots only deal 18.5. So, overall, I think Assault Rifle is now better. They said daggers felt too much like a primary weapon, so they decreased the speed of it from plus 15% to only plus 5, and now it only does 15 damage each dagger hit, which is pretty sad, to be honest. Oh, and they also fixed the hitbox like they did in the bow. I forgot to mention that. They said the energy pistols were weak, so the damage was increased from 2.25 to 2.4. Yeah, that's not really a big change, but still better than Slingshot now. The flare gun overall got buffed with its DPS. Now it can kill someone very, very quickly. And as you can see, now the person is dead. But in the patch notes, it did say total DPS decreased by 50, so I wonder why they're burning much more than usual. The handgun's damage was increased from 11 to 13. And now you can spam it much more, as you can see. But overall, the handgun is still probably the worst secondary out there, as it struggles to kill someone. What I feel like most players are pissed off about is now that the Shorty barely has any ammo. It can still do the same amount of damage as it used to, but now it only has 2 rounds, and that's it. Once you use it, you cannot use the Shorty anymore. The Slingshot now only does 6 damage on impact, and there is no critical damage from what I have seen so far. As you can see, there is absolutely no critical damage. Yes, maybe it looks like there is some critical damage, but I think it's just adding on to the damage. It's like 2 slingshot balls hitting out at the same time. You know what I mean. Since the spray was so bad, the equip cooldown became so short, and the spray became 5 keys. And now it can go through riot shields and katanas, making it a very useful weapon now. And the Uzi now just shoots really fast. The spin damage of the battle axe decreased from 50 to 40 damage, and the regular attack does 55. With the trowel, hardened bricks can no longer be rethrown, and that's basically it with the trowel. Just hard bricks cannot be rethrown. All it says in the patch notes is that the flashbang cannot be cooked. I mean, I have no idea what they mean, but if you know, please tell me in the comments, because I have no idea, to be honest. Once you're in the freeze ray, you now cannot move your camera or switch your weapons, which I think is a very good thing. If someone is, using the riot shield and stuff, and you're, like, using the knife, and they equip the riot shield, you can easily just go into their back. Otherwise, before, they could just switch back to a different weapon so the riot shield would be on their back and you couldn't knife backstab them, etc. So I think this is a really good change. The Molotov now changed. The DPS was decreased, the splash damage was increased, and the hitboxes are now extremely consistent. And also, fire cannot go through walls anymore. In my opinion, Satchel is nerfed too much. It now only does 40 damage on critical hit. And if it's not on a wall, it only does 20 damage. And it can no longer stick onto riot shields or enemies. And the smoke grenade now only stays for about 10 seconds. Anyways, thank you for watching the video all the way until the end. And please make sure to subscribe and like the video, since I'm trying to get my own charm in the game. I used to post Super Golf videos, Nosny, please! Anyways, see you in the next video.